Alright, hello guys, welcome to my tier list of 2025 movies. So I haven't really seen as many movies as I've watched TV shows in that year because TV was just so good that year, in my opinion. So I'll probably like make a similar video, but probably like a top 10 to 15 TV shows of that year instead of like a tier list, you know. But yeah, let's go into it. So I'll just see what I can actually, because there's a lot of films I haven't really seen from 2025 that I still need to catch up on and watch. But yeah, the ones that I know I haven't watched, I'm just gonna put in here because there's so many films. Wolfman. I'm not sure if this is the one that I think it is, but if it is, F tier. But I'll come back to that. If it is the right, I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this. I've heard this is good. So this is like one of the films I still need to watch. Yeah. Just having a look. If this is the film that I think it is, I'll just put this in like C minus. Den of Thieves 2. It's not a bad film. It actually got better by the end, but like the early film was pretty boring, so I have to put it like here. It's not a bad film, but I just hate that it gets better, and they could set up like a better film with the third one, but we'll see. Yeah, if how that goes. But I'm just putting it in C minus. Yeah, there's just so many films I haven't really seen from last year, and some of them will just be just random films, like either low budget films that are not really that popular. Yeah. And some of them are just 1 month, so I definitely haven't watched them. I'm just trying to see, like, I'd think like some of the bigger films would be on top. There's Warfare. I'll probably put this in A minus. Yeah. Some people say like it's the most graphic war film, but to me, I've seen way worse than this film. Obviously, people haven't seen a lot of war films to think this is the most graphic. It isn't to me. There's only like one scene in the film where it's a bit graphic, but I've seen a lot worse from other films, of other war films, back from back in the day. But yeah, it's definitely a great film. It kind of shows the true war that goes on, that US and stuff like to hide for the longest time, but it's kind of hard to hide it now in this generation. But yeah, it's a great film. So A minus. Can actually talk about the films I have seen, and some of them are just like either low budget or I just haven't seen them. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these are just random films. To be honest, I just went on the random made tier list instead of just making my own, which probably would have been a bit better, but it would have took a bit longer. Love Hurts. I don't know if this is any good, but I do plan to watch this, so I'm just gonna put it up here anyway. I think I watched Back in Action. It's between here. It's nothing that memorable, but I'm just putting it in D. It's got Cameron Diaz. She's kind of getting back into acting right now. She's going to be in Shrek 5 this year, which is cool. So it'd be nice to see her in Shrek again, if the movie's even good. And then we got, Jamie Foxx. It's a film. I feel like it belongs in D. It's a Netflix film, so yeah. I have no idea if this is good, but I'm just putting it here. Basically, it's Felicity from Arrow, but as a wrestler. Interesting, but I don't know if I'd ever watch it. Man, John Travolta is just in a lot of bad films these days, so it's probably a bad film. I don't even bother with The Witcher anymore, especially when it's related to Netflix after they got rid of Henry Cavill. I kind of stopped after that. Well, I don't even think I watched even the third season. I was done after the second season. Captain America. I'll put it here. Like, it's just weird. I feel like I should put it above Den of Thieves 2 because there's some parts of the film that I actually do enjoy, and it's not actually that bad compared to what people were saying. But it's definitely a mid film, 100% mid film. And it just feels like Hulk should have been in this film if you're literally having most of Hulk's gallery in this film, and you're having the new Captain America, Sam go up against him. It's just a bit. He can't really do much. So yeah, he does the best what he can, I guess. But yeah, it's just I'd say a C minus. you could say D, but I'm just gonna go with C minus because there was some moments I enjoyed, but then, it just didn't fully work. Yeah, but it's not as bad as people say. Yeah, haven't watched Mickey 7, but I think it's a good film. There was a Plantain movie that year. I know there's a SpongeBob movie, but a Plantain movie. Oh, this is 100% like F tier, the bottom. Yeah, probably one of the worst Netflix films, if not the worst ever. And I've watched a lot of Netflix films that are just like mid to shit. Electric State, Final Destination. It was a fun film. It was a fun watch, but I'm putting B plus though. Yeah, it's just the way how the movie ends, but I just many view it as like a fun film to watch. Yeah, I haven't really watched this monkey film yet, so I'm just putting it in here. So many films I didn't watch last year, but then some of these are just probably just random films anyway. I didn't really watch the new Wallace and Gromit movie. That's like kid days when I used to watch them. Like the last one I watched was like the Were Rabbit one. Minecraft movie, 100% D. It's not awful, but I'd never watch it again. Flipping chicken jockey and shit, and people just going crazy in the cinemas. And my brother works in the cinemas, and he kind of told me how bad it was. So yeah. Working Man, I'd probably be bottom C minus. Yeah, it's just Jason Statham doing what he always does. Yeah, it's not a bad film. It's just Jason Statham just being Jason Statham. The Accountant 2. I barely remember the plot of this film. I don't remember it being a bad film, but I'm just putting it bottom. Since I barely remember the plot, it doesn't deserve any higher. I'm just trying to find the films I've actually watched. This one, I don't know most people's opinion on this film, but bottom C minus. I didn't really fully enjoy this film. It's not as good as their previous film because it's basically people who are YouTubers and then they finally got into films from that other horror film that came out. That was actually pretty good. And this came out, and I'm just not a big fan of it. Yeah, I didn't like it. My brother liked it. My mum didn't like it as well. But yeah. I need to watch Ballerina. That's the one I need to watch. It might be alright. I just feel like the John Wick franchise needs to end at this point, so I just didn't really care to watch it. I was kind of done after the fourth one. When it made it look like John Wick was dead. So yeah. Thunderbolts. It's kind of funny. I've actually got the cereal box too. Lol. I'll just put this in C plus. Yeah. I feel like that's a fair rating. I haven't watched Opus. Let's put that in here. Because yeah, Thunderbolts was just okay. It was nothing brilliant to me. Like some people, because after watching Guardians 3, like when it comes to after Endgame times, there's nothing that really tops that. I guess you could say No Way Home, but and I'd say the cameo stuff isn't really as bad as like other films. And I feel like Doomsday, they're just gonna take the piss, and I have no hype for Doomsday. Fantastic Four, where's that? Or Mission Impossible. I'd put that like A minus above Warfare because it's basically the end of such a great franchise. It was nice to be watching it before the final film, but I just can't really give it like an S or A plus. I feel like A minus is fair. It's just there was some parts that kind of dragged out a bit. A lot of dialogue for a final film. You want things to be like, a lot going on instead of just tons of dialogue. Because they're trying to explain this AI threat that they've introduced in the final film, and yeah, there's a lot of exposition. Then you have the big moments where like is in a submarine and stuff, but then there's tons of exposition. Like yeah, bit of end in the franchise. I'd say they do it well. Yeah. Superman. Yeah. I mean, A plus. I just don't know if there was any film from that year that could actually give it S. But A plus, like I feel like Superman deserves it. Rewatching it, it's still a fun time. It's just what Superman should be. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people forgot what Superman's like actually represents. He represents hope, and a lot of people forgot that. Like in the Zack Snyder era, you know, when they just made him super dark. I at least had Superman and Lois that gave me the true Superman. But for a lot of media, like Injustice 2 and stuff, like it was just dark, Brightburn, just they wanted Superman to be dark. I got with Smallville and stuff, so I always know what true Superman is like. You know, Justice League Unlimited. Yeah. And it's just good that this kind of made people realize what true Superman is again. Yeah. Put that here, 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 put that here. There's so many films. But I don't even think I'd watch most of these films that I'm seeing that this person's put. There you go. You'd think they'd only just many put the popular films. They just literally put nearly every film that probably came out that year, even if it was trash or not really known. I heard this movie was good with Michael Fassbender, but I haven't watched it. It's like so many films. Snow White. I don't. I can't remember if I actually just had this on, but I just know how bad the film is. But I'm just gonna put it in like the bottom. It's like the worst film I can probably. Like, this is probably the worst film of the year. It's not right. Yeah, all the memes and everything. I think I just played it on one time, but I don't think I fully finished it anyway. It's just shit. It's really bad. Rachel Zegler is like one of the worst actors of this generation, man. And her interviews doesn't really help her as well. Yeah. Hey, Jesus Christ, there's so many films that are just like random that I don't even knew existed to then not really caring. Oh, Death at a Unicorn definitely deserves to be an F. It's kind of funny that Jenna Ortega was in this as well. I just feel like Jenna Ortega does the best when it's like darker walls. When she's in just playing a character, she does not really that great of a job. Yeah. I feel like at this point she needs to realize she needs to be in more like darker walls, like because she's perfect as Wednesday. She was killing that Killer Queen. Like she needs more darker walls because when she's just playing as like characters that are not really that dark, I just trying to be like normal characters. I don't know, it just doesn't really work. And the film anyway is just trash anyway. He had some other big actors in it, but it was trash. Yeah, dumb premise. Oh, so many films here I haven't watched, and that's because a lot of them are just random films that I feel like a lot of people haven't watched. I've seen this on Amazon, but didn't watch it. It just looks cheap. Like, Jesus Christ. Is there another film here? Oh yeah, probably like one of the most, if not the most overrated film of the year. I'm 100% putting this in F, but I'd put it at least on the top. But Wolfman, if it's the same film that I watched that year, I feel like that deserves to be there. Well, I don't know if like putting it here counts as like it's the worst film or like putting it like at the bottom. A lot of the films here are just trash, but the Black Phone 2, literally the killer literally kills no one while coming back from the dead. Because the kills you actually see in the film are literally the people he killed before even the first film. So basically, he literally kills no one, which is funny. And it's just funny that the same thing happens with Vecna in the final season, apart from a character that people didn't like. I mean, I'm one of the few that did like him, but and because they brought him back finally, and then they just killed him off. But we'll get to that in the TV review. But it's kind of similar, yeah. Because obviously, you know that I find season 5 disappointing for a final season of Stranger Things, yeah. But we'll get to that in the TV top 10s or 15 or whatever I do. I haven't really watched Lilo and Stitch. I haven't heard bad things, but I haven't watched it, so I can't really like rate it or anything if I haven't seen it. And this, as I've just heard bad things really, or it's just mid. Formula 1, I've also heard good things, but I haven't watched it. So that's another film I want to watch. I just put so. I don't know if they literally just put every film that came out that year. And that's why there's so many. Sinners overrated as well, but I'd at least put it in B. It's a fun watch. B minus. Because it's basically just a rip-off of Dust to Dawn, and I grew up with Dust to Dawn, so when I saw Sinners, I was just like, it's just a rip-off of Dust to Dawn. Why people are praising it so much? It's not even that great. But for good for people who do like it that much, but it's just a rip-off of Dust to Dawn, but with black people. Yeah. Yeah. It's because I grew up with Dust to Dawn. I don't know what I'd think if I didn't grow up with Dust to Dawn. My viewpoint would be a bit different. Anyway, let's get to 28 years later. It's either going to be somewhere between A- and B+, because I was expecting this film to be so much better than it actually was. For now, I'm just going to put it... it doesn't feel right to put it here, but in a way, it kind of does. It's just... I'll just put the bottom of A- for now. Because those films that were just working so well, like half of the film was just like what I was expecting the film to be. And then after that half point, it turns into something else. And I'm just like, am I watching the same film? Like, what? And then the ending, oh my god, it turns into Power Rangers. I'm just like, bro. And I just know the second film that's out right now that's going to be so silly compared to how the first 28 Days Later film was, and this half of this film was. It's going to be a lot more goofy and stuff, different kind of direction. That's why I was kind of... It's hard to know if I should put like A- or B+, but for now I'll just leave it here. Yeah, I was expecting for it to be my favorite movie of the year, like S tier, but half of the movie is like S tier, and then the other half is like going to A and then B. Like, Jesus. Yeah. Like, the other half of the movie just felt so different. What else can I find? Caught Stealing, another overrated film. Like, I feel like this year was really overrated with films because it's been a long time since we've actually seen a lot of decent films to come out. Like, 2025 was a good year for films, but I feel like it's like an overrated year. Probably the most overrated year I've seen. Like, it's like people forgot like what true A-S tier movies actually are, and this one's like, oh my god. I feel like putting it in D. I feel like it deserves D because the concept of the movie is actually really good. And it's good that people still enjoyed it, but the execution was god awful. How the main character was completely stupid, letting himself go through so much when he didn't even have to, getting his girlfriend killed and all that. I don't really care about spoilers because, I mean, we're in 2026 now, so whatever. I'm not going to spoil all the movies I'm talking about, but this movie's execution could have been so much better. Because literally it was his neighbour that was responsible for everything, but then he just got all the blame because he didn't literally say anything. They just made his character stupid. I just feel like if the handle things a bit better, not making the character we're following a complete idiot, maybe this would be like going to like B, A-, but instead they made him an idiot, so I'm just like, bruh, I'm just like following an idiot for the whole film. And the best characters are not really as much in the film. Like, you literally got the Wilson Fisk actor, you got the Sabretooth actor, and their scenes are just like they're the best characters in the film. Yeah. And we had Matt Smith, but they barely used him, so yeah. I mean, we're stuck with the idiot character who just let himself get in so much trouble. Yeah. But moving on from that film, I just think it's overrated. But cool if you used to enjoyed it. Because my mum felt the same way. We both felt like, man, let's talk about flipping War of the Worlds. Like, for being extremely funny, S tier. For actually being probably the worst film of the year, but it's just too much fun. Like, I feel like it deserves to be the bottom of F tier. I mean, the top of F tier, because it's so funny to watch, but it's so bad. Because I literally watched like the original War of the Worlds, because I watched it like back in the day, and I just realized how good that film actually was. And then when you compare it to this, oh my god, it's the same franchise, no way. Because they go with because this was made in COVID, of course, so everything's just like from a computer screen. It's just, and flipping Amazon promoting and stuff. Like, they should have scrapped this film fully. They shouldn't have released this, but it's just so funny to watch. It's the womb level of funny. Yeah. Any other films from that year that I watched? That's why I haven't watched Avatar yet, but I'm just not really a big fan of this franchise. It's just a copy of Avatar: The Last Airbender with using the elements and stuff. But but not terrible. I watched The Winning Man. That's either going in like B minus or C plus. I'll just put it here. I feel like it deserves to be here. Yeah. I just don't know if a part of me just wants to put like Thunderbolts a little bit higher. I think I enjoyed Thunderbolts more than Sinners, so I feel like I should actually put it above. I rewatched it and I definitely enjoyed it a bit more, but it's still basically a copy of Dust to Dawn because I literally watched it Dust to Dawn straight after, and it's a lot more fun films. I feel like the issue with Sinners is that there's not really a lot going on straight away. Where flipping Dust to Dawn, you instantly with like these bunch of criminals, because you'll have like this family that are also the main characters, and then you'll have the criminals that are also the main characters, and then the way how they collide together, and what you just see like some of the criminals do before they collide, it's just perfect, and then it just ends up turning into a flipping vampire movie. It's done so well. Sinners is just a copy of that, but I feel like the first act is not really that interesting. The second act is starting to get there, and the third act is obviously the best part. But it just takes too long to get, fun. Yeah. Alright. I haven't really watched the Freaky Friday sequel, so I'll just put that in here. Put a bunch of more films in here. So many films. Jesus. Because yeah, this guy literally just put all the films that came out this year. I only watched half of Roofman on my birthday. This is a good premise, but it kind of drags a bit. So I'd put this probably like C minus. I feel like that's the best spot to pick. Yeah, it's a good premise, but it kind of drags, and it's cool that it's set in the 2000s. Yeah, I still need to finish the film. I watched the Predator film, but it's mid. It's mid. Yeah, I don't know if some people enjoyed it more, but it's pretty mid. Yeah, but I still put it above because I just don't know if I'm going to enjoy the ending of Roofman. But I'll just put it here. Yeah, cool premise, but I feel like it could have been executed better. Just not really having much of humans and stuff to fight. Cause it's more like they decided to make the Predator the main character, and then you have this kind of android helping him, and I don't know if it's like set in like a alien world, and I'm talking about like literally the Alien franchise world. So yeah, and then just fighting monsters, and then he gets to get revenge for his father because he gets killed and stuff, or is it the other way around? But whatever. When I say it other way around, I think was it like Brother, but I can't fully remember. It's just a pretty mid story, basic mid story. But it's not terrible. But it could have been better. Yeah. So many mid films that came out this year. Such a mid year for movies, but TV I really enjoyed for TV. Fantastic Four, another mid film. But at least Marvel's went from like woke and terrible to just mid films. Yeah, but I don't even know. I'm gonna put this bottom of minus, well, C minus. The 2000 films, like the thing that works for those films is that the chemistry is just perfect. It truly feels like the Fantastic Four. They do have some chemistry in this film compared to Fantastic, which is just the worst. But you don't really get enough of it. They kind of focus on this mid storyline. I just don't really like where it goes. It's just not really that interesting. At least we got to see a better Galactus. I don't like that they made Silver Surfer a woman, even if it was like a brief moment in the comics. Or maybe it had a bigger story, I don't know. Because Silver Surfer in the 2000s movie was so good. And we got like a woman version, and him having kind of like a thing with Human Torch is a bit weird. But they tried to do a similar thing with Sue in the 2000s film. And then they got the Finn's face obviously perfect, like how he does in the comics. Even though like I've always had a soft spot for the 2000s one, but it's just cool we got the true design in this film because Van Forstek just made him literally a full walk. It's so weird. But yeah, there's some things that work and there's some things that don't work, and it's mainly the things that don't work that makes it like a mid film, not even like high mid like Thunderbolts, but more like just definition of mid. Yeah. And that's it's the bottom. Is there anything else that I watched in this year? Weapons. It truly was such an overrated year for films. People just forgot how good films used to be, so they just made all these above average to great films, like all 10 out of 10 S tier, like, because most people probably would put Weapons up here, and they'd probably put Sinners up here, and Caught Stealing maybe up here or A, and then Superman S, but I feel like there was some things that Superman could have did better to truly be S. And there's still a film, I think there is actually a film that I'd actually put like in S. That actually became my favourite movie this year, and Stephen King just ruled like 2025 for me in TV and movies. But where I'd actually put Weapons, because its premise obviously really good, but its execution not that good. It still had me watching just to see how things would go, and I watched it twice, but I think I enjoyed it less rewatching it compared to Sinners, so that's why you can't really be above Sinners. It's just its premise was really good, but it didn't really do enough with its premise, with the kids just disappearing from the homes and everyone becoming a teacher and just having different perspectives and then finding out who actually did this. Its premise was good, but its execution, just like Caught Stealing, wasn't as good. But it still kind of held some things together. Like the third act is obviously the best part of the film, when it kind of focus on the kid. Yeah. But yeah, it could have been so much better to me. Yeah. But not a lot of people like it. Happy Gilmore 2. Oh man. People think I'm crazy for doing this, but it definitely deserves to be up here. It's just, I love the first film and was able to recapture the first film. Obviously not as good, but it was a lot of fun to watch, so that's all I'm saying. I already did a review on this film anyway. Some people probably put it like actual, probably D or F, but it was just too fun of a film. I'm sorry. It was so fun to watch. Media, definitely a mid film. There's been so many great Medea films in the past, like Medea Goes to Jail and stuff, but this is just mid, so I'll just play it here. But I think I enjoyed The Winning Man in certain parts more than Medea, so yeah, I think it deserves to be here. I don't know how many more films are left that I've actually watched. I think I saw Together, that was one of the films I watched. So I haven't really watched Five Nights at Freddy's 2 yet because I didn't like the first film at all. Like, literally, Willy's Wonderland was a better Five Nights at Freddy's film than the actual Five Nights at Freddy's film. It was just so boring. And I've seen different opinions with the sequel. Like, some people say it's actually what the first movie should have been, and there's some that people just say it's boring, just like the first film. So I feel like at one point I just have to watch it myself. And if it sucks, I'll just rewatch Willy's Wonderland for a better film. Yeah. And if you haven't watched Willy's Wonderland and you didn't really like the Five Nights at Freddy's films, I recommend that. Yeah. Just don't expect too much from it, but it's actually fun, unlike the first Five Nights at Freddy's film, I'll at least say, because I haven't watched the sequel. Yeah. I just don't know if there's anything else. I mean, the film that I'm looking for is The Long Walk. I haven't really watched Zootopia 2 yet. I love the first film. It's literally one of my favourite animated films. I just don't know if the sequel was able to match the same level, and I have no idea what the hell this is. And there's Wicked. I obviously haven't watched this. I'm trying to find A Long Walk. But if I can't find A Long Walk, I'll just get an image from Google and just put it in myself, so I can just show you where to put that, because it deserves its place. There's K-pop Demon Hunters, because that came out last year, right? I haven't watched it, but... And then this is just like How to Train Your Dragon, but in live action. Didn't bother watch this, because the first film, the first animated film was just perfect, so I didn't really feel like I needed to watch it, to be honest. I wasn't dying for like it to be in flipping live action. That is, I heard it's good, yeah. I just haven't watched it myself. Heard the Naked Gun's good as well. I tried to like rewatch the old ones, but I was just watching too much. Like, TV was just too good, man. I was more into TV that year. So I ended up dropping it, and I never got to watch the new one because I wanted to watch the old ones first, see how something is tying. Oh, Killer of Killers definitely deserves to be up here. Oh my god, it's so good. Would I say it's better than the Superman movie? Probably not. But I'd put it here. Yeah. Like the better Predator film that came out that year and animated too. And actually makes references to a lot of the characters we haven't seen in a long time. Like from Predator 2, we get to, like the Prey main character as well. And I think in one of the endings you get to see Arnold, like his character return, which is cool. So they could set up something really cool for that. Like in animation, I'm looking forward to that more for Predator than in live action. I used to try to do something different. I can at least say that with the live action movie, but I don't feel like they did enough with that concept. But I can just tell they put a lot more effort into the animated film than the actual live action movie, which is kind of weird to think about. You think they put more effort in the live action film, but yeah. And in a way, kind of gave me one of the things I wanted to see, like a samurai Predator film, but I still would want a full samurai Predator film now. Yeah. I knew there was a new Now You See Me. I didn't really watch the old films fully anyway. I've watched most of the first film. I haven't really watched the sequel. And now there's a new one. I don't even know if I'm missing like 3 or 4, but yeah. Gotta get to those eventually. Oof, one battle after another. I can't put it as an S film because there's still some. It's one of those films where it's nearly perfect, but then there's some things I feel like they could have did a lot better. But it definitely deserves to be like above Killer of Killers. It's a really good film. The premise is nothing crazy. You could miss some details if you're not fully paying attention, which I wasn't the first time I watched it, so I missed some details. But I watched it again and I got the full story this time. It's a very, very good film that deserves to be like high up on people's lists. There's just some things I feel like they could have did a bit better with certain storylines, especially when it comes to the mum, but yeah. And that person she cheats with, but yeah. It definitely deserves to be up here for me. It's a good film. I enjoyed rewatching it more than the first time I watched it. I'm trying to see. Is there anything else? I still haven't seen The Long Walk unless I actually put it in the haven't seen by accident. I can't see it. I thought I'd see it straight away. Because it is my favourite movie of the year, but I just want you guys to see where I'd actually put it in the tier list. Him. Oh, it's kind of, I don't even know what most people think about this film, but I actually like the first and second act, but once you get to like flipping and the last act, it's just they've just destroyed the whole film. I'm sorry. I'll just put it like the top of D because it starts from like probably like C plus. It's nothing crazy. Then it just goes all the way down to D by the end. The time you get to the ending, they try to do something unique there, but they just completely failed in its execution. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't really want to talk much about that film. But I know my brother loved it because he loves sports stuff. So the story, I'm just a story person, and if the story doesn't hit, and I don't like the characters, your movie's kind of not going to work for me. And I don't know what to think about this film because I haven't watched it yet. Like after the first SpongeBob movie, I never really needed to fully watch any of the others. Like that first one's just so perfect, and the game, oh my god, probably better than the film. Still haven't found The Long Walk. Where is it? I don't even know if there's any more films that I've actually seen from this year to actually put in here. Because if I don't put the rest in, I'm just gonna say I haven't seen them, but I'm just gonna have a little look. Yeah, I need to watch Nobody 2. Yeah, I don't know how that turned out, but Nobody 2 is one of those films where I enjoyed the first and second act, but the third act's just like they went too far. Because they tried to be a bit more realistic with Nobody, but then it just goes into something else. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just trying to find The Long Walk or I guess any other films. There's another Mulan movie they released, animated as well. Interesting, since the live action one didn't really do that well. Well, I don't know if it actually made money, but I just know most people don't like it. I mean, yeah, I still even watched the Kawaii Kid as well because um, Dre Parker didn't get to come back his character, or at least his bully, which seems like he would have become a better character in the sequel. I don't know if he does make an appearance, but I feel like that's a movie I still need to watch. To be honest, yeah, sometime this week or next week, just to see how things went. If Dre Parker even gets a mention, and I ain't really watched this K-pop thing. I know it's a trend, but I didn't watch it. Have I put the long walk in here? Because I can't find it. There's still so much here. I just don't know if there's anything else that I haven't watched. The Strangers. I heard it wasn't good. I don't think my mum liked it as well, so. I did see a film that was actually gonna place, but I ended up, I think, focusing on something else. But where the hell's the long walk? Did I actually pull it in by accident? I don't. In like the one place. I don't know. Oh yeah, together. I know I'm gonna put this somewhere in like COD. Again, good premise, but execution could have been better. But I don't say the execution as bad as like some of the other films on this list. But hmm. I still enjoyed this movie more than this. So I feel like it deserves to be here. Basically, it's about people like coming together, but in a way where people literally become one or something, and the way how they do it is a bit weird. But it's supposed to be a weird film, but man, that ending. But again, not a bad film. You know, I'll just say interesting. I just hope when it comes to this year, like there'll actually be a lot more actual great films this year. It's just kind of weird to think that there's already like a new 28 Days Later movie out. My brother's watching it right now. I didn't even bother with Megan because it just seems like they're trying to rip off Terminator 2. I don't understand why they tried to make Megan a good guy. It's stupid. And they kind of reviewed that in the trailer, so they literally spoiled the big thing in the trailer. Because if they didn't spoil that, I might have actually checked it out because I actually enjoyed the first film. And probably would still not enjoyed the second film, but at least I actually would have watched it. Yeah. Like with the direction. But yeah, there's only like probably like one or two more movies on here that I've probably seen, and the rest I ain't seen. I was mainly like a TV person last year. And I'm talking about the actual good TV shows, not like a lot of just random shows where if I went on a tier list, they probably would do the same thing, just a bunch of randomness that I don't even think most people have seen. Unless there's literally someone out there who literally reviews every movie that, or watch every movie that comes out. But I am not one of them. I just watch the ones that actually get talked about. Sometimes ones that people don't even mention at all. But yeah. Oh, The Pickup. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's a decent film. Maybe C minus or plus. It's got Eddie Murphy, one of my favorite Disney stars, and one of the modern comedians. I just put it here, but I feel like I put it above. Like it's probably the top of C plus. Yeah, it's a good film. Nothing crazy, but it's good. I kind of hate how, in a way, the bad guys end up winning. In a way, in a way, but yeah, it's decent. It's just insane. I still haven't found the long walk yet. And if I did, I probably like accidentally went past it. Because if I literally put all these in and I haven't found the long walk, man, I don't know if I can scan for all that. That seems like a long job. I'll probably just get an image from Google and just pull it in myself. Just to show you where I'd place it. And it's going to be a long video when I'm done. I watched The Conjuring. I don't know if that was the last one as well. I was really a big fan of Conjuring, even though the first one's like oh, there it is, The Long Walk, finally. Well, this is probably the only film where I'd actually put it in S tier, 100% S tier. Like, I could see some people maybe not wanting to put this in S tier because, you know, I guess it's just people just walking, but literally when you stop walking, you literally die, and just the way how they just do so well with like character writing. Like, it's definitely the best character written movie that came out this year. Because a lot of movies that came out this year just didn't really have good character writing. Like, actually looking at the movies that came out this year that was popular, a lot of them really didn't have that great of character writing. This is the only one that actually did had proper character writing, apart from, you know, I mean, One Battle After Another definitely had some good character writing in some aspects, but in others. And then Superman, it's mainly just like the hope stuff is what really like kind of sells Superman in this film. Because some of the arguments they like Lois and Superman have, like, they're trying to like show more of like a proper relationship, some stuff that we used to see in Smallville, but I feel like Smallville kind of executed it better. Because Smallville's just a TV show, so they had to like focus more on like the character than, you know, big budget effects. Yeah, so that's why they was able to like execute things better in like a emotional and character written way. So yeah, I feel like, and then Killer of Killers has some good character writing, but especially with the samurai stuff, but it's more focused on like the predators hunting people from different timelines, and then they end up coming together, fighting in like an arena and trying to escape. So there's not really much character writing there, and then we're not really gonna talk about Happy Gilmore 2 with character writing, even though it's kind of funny that there's still like a little tip of, you know, what Happy Gilmore's doing for his daughter so she can have a better future and stuff. Yeah. Like some of that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's just funny to think about that. Like, Happy Gilmore has probably better, just a little bit of character good writing than most of the films on this list. That's kind of funny to think about. Yeah. With just that little bit of story to focus on. With the daughter. And her dreams and stuff. And him trying to help her achieve them. Never thought I'd get something like that from Happy Gilmore of all things. Even though the first one had a bit of that. With Happy Gilmore trying to help his grandmother, but it was pretty simple with how they executed that. Because it's mainly focused on just the comedy, man. and Happy actually not being happy. But yeah, I don't think there's any more films on here that I'll find I've actually watched. I think that's pretty much everything. If I come across something, because there's a chance I might have forgot a film that I've actually watched this year. Because I was mainly watching, you know, TV shows. So that's something I gotta make as well. But I'll just make a tier list, not tier list, a top 10 or 15. Or I could do something where it's a top 10, but then I'll just put honourable mentions or dishonourable mentions. Yeah. I'll see how I do it anyway. It's definitely going to be like a top 10 or 15. I haven't watched Frankenstein, but I heard it's okay. I sometimes forget if Shelby Oaks actually came out, like Chris Stuckman's movie. I just need to watch this to see if it was any good. Because Chris Stuckman was one of my favourite YouTubers, but he ended up becoming more, I don't know, just not really Chris Stuckman anymore. Was scared to ever say bad things about movies. He didn't want to be like seen as like someone who's critical on certain movies. So it became more just not truly himself. But I'm still intrigued to see how his movie turned out, because I know that was one of his dreams, to make a big budget movie someday. since he's always made movies with his friends and stuff when he was younger. Yeah, so I don't want to see how it turned out. I still haven't really watched this yet, the new Knives Out. But yeah, I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything else that I watched this year. And there's only a few where I'd actually still would want to watch some of these films from this year. Because a lot of these films just feel just random. You don't really need to watch. I mean, there's a chance you could just find a film and it's actually pretty good. But when it came to like the big movies, I guess let's just have a look. So this is the only S tier for me, The Long Walk, then A+, Superman, One Battle After Another, Killer of Killers, and Happy Gilmore 2. A-, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Warfare, and 28 Years Later. B+, only Final Destination, which... Is that right to me? I don't know if I should put Thunderbolts higher. I feel like if I rewatched Thunderbolts, I'd probably put it higher, to be honest. Because Thunderbolts, it definitely does some good character work, but compared to the level that I'm used to from Marvel, and how good flipping Guardians feel with its character work, where literally no one died, and I literally cried in the cinemas. Yeah. But some of the things that it does do well, I feel like it deserves to be B+ at least. Yeah. Yeah, I think it deserves that. And if I rewatched it, I feel like I would feel like, yeah, I should have put it in B+ when I made this tier list. And then the C+, well, let's go B-, Sinners and Weapons, overrated to me. They don't really deserve to be like flipping A+ or S to me anyway. I don't feel like the movies are all that. So C+, The Pickup, The Winning Man, not a bad remake, but the first one's of course, well, the original film is of course better. And Medea, not really one of the best Medea films, but not one of the worst Medea films which I've seen. Yeah. C-, Captain America, Brave New World, Den of Thieves 2. Yeah, Jason Statham's movie, Together, Predator, Wolfman, you know the rest. D, Him, Caught Stealing, overrated. Back in Action, Minecraft, whatever. F, flipping War of the Worlds, Wolfman, if it's the one that I think it is. The Black Phone 2, which I'd love to see someone who's actually thinking like me, who just knows this movie's beyond overrated and deserves to be like very low. Because literally, I was beyond bored watching this film. You could say it's the most boring film of the year. Like, I'd rather watch Death at a Unicorn again and just somewhat laugh at how bad it is, then watch The Black Phone 2 again. It was literally, oh man, just thinking about it, I'd rather put Death of a Unicorn over flipping. That's just funny to think about. Because Black Phone 2, I don't understand how people like this film. It's so boring, and he literally kills no one. Like, he was literally a trash villain in this film. He was better in the first film. The best stuff we get is literally a flashback. It kind of reminds me of the best part of Fast and Furious 9. The flashbacks when it's set in the past and we actually got to see the true racing again. Yeah. Electric State, probably one of Netflix's worst movies, not just of this year, but literally one of the worst movies they've ever made. It's just so boring. And it just sucks. It had such a good premise. Probably the most wasted premise out of all these films. Because I said a lot of films on this list kind of fail to fully execute their premise. But this probably does it the worst. And then just hearing that the books were actually better than the film, they actually do the premise right. It just shows how much of a missed opportunity they had with Electric State. Yeah. And then Snow White, which was regular, that's all you have to say. And that's pretty much it. Tons of films I haven't watched yet, but I'll just quickly see what I'd still be watching. Maybe Love Hurts, Ballerina, I Don't Know About Queen, Better Man. It's kind of in a way like about Robin Williams, but I don't know why he's a monkey or whatever. Unless that's how you felt, I don't know. Just trying to see what else. I'm not sure about Opus. I didn't really enjoy the first bit of the movie because I actually tried to watch Opus, and if I don't feel like I should judge it just by watching like the first half, and not even the first half, like literally the one out of basically 1/3 of the film I watched. I didn't even see things proper start yet. I don't know if I'd watched Lilo and Stitch because I can just watch the original animated film that I grew up with. I guess there's still like K-pop Demon Hunters, but I'd have to actually be in the mood to watch that because singing and dancing, not something I always want to see. I'm not sure about this film since it has Robert De Niro. F1, even though I'm not really a big racing guy. Five Nights at Freddy's just to see if it's actually shit. Freaky Friday. In a way, I kind of got to see something like this in Wednesday season 2, so just seeing Wednesday acting all happy and shit was just so weird. Onto Dawn, I actually tried to watch this, but it's shit. I think I watched like half of the film, so in a way, I actually could. I don't know. I just don't know if I can put something on a list if I haven't fully watched it, but it's just a shit version of the peak Until Dawn game, horror game. And I feel like a lot of their games after Until Dawn weren't really that good anyway. Definitely not watching Tron. VHS. Maybe. Zootopia. Definitely want to see if it's any good. Definitely not Wicked. Definitely not SpongeBob. I guess nobody to. I need to watch the old Now You See Me's and The Naked Gun, the same thing. I don't feel like I need to rewatch the first one. It was kind of funny seeing Queen Victoria in the first one though. And it wasn't long after like she passed away as well. Rest in peace. Karate Kid, Legends. And I don't know if there's anything else I'd care to watch from what's here. I can't see myself ever watching Megan 2.0. Unless they decided to go back to their roots and actually make Megan a villain again, I ain't watching the sequel. Because to me, they went in the wrong direction. From the trailer, like the movie was already ruined, which is kind of funny to think about. Because Megan for me was basically the new Chucky in a way, still not fully Chucky, but where we actually had something that was like Chucky in like cinemas to watch, but then they just ruined it with the sequel, going in like a good guy direction. After everything she did in the first movie, it's just stupid. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, well there is what is it? Wait, was it like Caesar or something? But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know how you'd rate films and what are your favourite films of last year. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Appreciate you for like. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.